I guess the first half's as true a story as it can be in a minute. But it was my reflection on the difficulty sometimes of trying to talk about, faith and politics and climate action altogether.
Could we hear it?
Yeah, sure. So back when I was a minister still with a congregation, I caused some consternation and even a little bit of confrontation when people heard the way I used the C word. Now, I used it not just once. This was no accidental slip. I used it a whole bunch of times. I really let it rip. I thought I'd get away with it. I'm male, middle class, and white, and anyone will tell you that I'm usually polite. But that C word causes such offence. And it's fair enough, I guess. Christ was pretty offensive. He left that temple in a mess, kicking over tables and whipping those who oppress. And what else can you do when you have to preach from the Bible each week and Christ and his mother just keep banging on about injustice and hypocrisy and greed, and at Christmas time we read about their life as refugees? It's not my fault the little child didn't grow up meek and mild. Christ wanted us to do stuff, or at least to try, and our leaders to lead us in justice and in compassion in this world of refugees. There'd be no rotting in detention, and we'd stick to 1.5 degrees if we only had a Christian Prime Minister. Now, I know, we've already had a few. We got lots of thoughts and prayers, and that's going to continue if I had to take a punt with our pray for rain Prime Minister and his coal won't hurt you stunt. But for every disappointing... Oh, and he continues to pray for rain to Mr. Fix-It in the sky. But why? After World War I and World War II, and I could continue, wouldn't it be strange if God got off his butt for climate change, just came down here to rearrange the weather or sucked all the carbon up into heaven to make it all better? Prayers for rain are vanity, unless we stop the fossil fuel subsidy. We need leaders to lead us, not misdirect and deceive us. But for every disappointing Prime Minister, there's a Miriam and a Byron and a Jackie and a Jess. There's Lisa with one eye and Lisa with two eyes, and there's all of you listening now, I'd guess. There's Tony and Rachel and Pia and Pete, and there's people living up and down your street. You might have never heard of them, they might have never heard of you. There's Christians, Muslims, atheists, Jews, straights, LGBs and TIQs, all us scraggly little mustard bushes getting up off our tushes. So whether your C word is Christ or compassion or climate or community or country or all of them, say your C word loud and clear. Live your C word. And let's put the fear of true democracy right up the jacksy of the fossil fuel plutocracy.
Listen to our Sustainable Hour for the future.